Hello fellow nail fanatics, I'm back again today with UberChic Beauty's collection 24, and I have to say this is one of my favorite of her collections that she's put out in a while. I tend to love all of her collections, but this one for purely personal reasons I adore because it's just got a ton of images that just make my heart very happy. Alright, so let's take a quick look at each of the plates in case you just want a quick in motion view of what we've got on here. So that's 2401, and then here is 2402. Oh my gosh, those like carnation flowers make me so happy. And then that's 2402, and now this is 2403. Oh my gosh, I love this plate. And in the collection, this plate is my favorite of the three. Oh my gosh, so gorgeous. Okay, so let's take a closer look. She's got all of the kinds of stuff that you expect from UberChic Beauty. She's got layering images. She's got positive and negative space. She gives you all of that stuff. So when you buy one of her collections, I feel like when you buy one of her collections, you really have a lot of design flexibility and design potential. Love this. I love, she's got a couple chevron plates that have come out recently, and I love kind of like the feel of this along with it, especially for spring. This looks like leaves to me, so I would absolutely do this in green and then stamp other flowers over it. It's like a leaf chevron under flowers, or like with the butterflies. So cute. This reminds me of clouds. I don't know why. So it's got this linear feel, and so it almost has like a surrealist feel. Like Magritte paintings. So if you're into that kind of stuff, or recreating kind of different artistic style looks, I really love that for that reason. Spread your wings. So these could also, I guess, look like wings, and you could do that almost like angel wings too. Love this with the little crosses. They remind me of stars, and I think especially if you use them that way, you could use them as stars like in a galaxy nail mani. But I just love that either as background behind other things or even just on its own. The detail in this makes me so happy, with the flowers surrounded by almost like a bigger flower. It is just so bohemian and awesome. I love it. All right, and here we have some layering butterflies, and then the matching one here. You know me, I love anything with diamond glitter, so for me, I would throw this down, even just in black over white, and then put different colors of like maybe a red glitter diamonds, or blue glitter diamonds, or even do kind of like a rainbow or a couple of different colors and play around with that. And this is a guide. Like, one of the things that can be really intimidating about glitter manis, or putting loose glitter onto your mani in an organized pattern, is it can take a while, and if you're not precise, you can put all of this down and then get to kind of the end of your nail and everything's lopsided and it looks goofy. But if you have something like this, it's putting down a grid for you, and it makes it easy to get those complicated looks just by using it to throw down a few loose glitters, and it takes no time at all. It's gorgeous, and I love it. This, to me, it's like the most beautiful, like chain link something with, I would love to have like a long necklace that drooped down that was made like that. It's so gorgeous, and I just want to throw this in gold and silver over like every color I have in the world. Could you imagine this in gold over white, or in gold over red, or in silver over like a deep, rich royal blue? Oh my gosh, it would be so beautiful. And I love this right here. Gives me this retro vibe. Kitty stuff. Kitty Passover. I don't know if you saw her in the reflection. This gives me this retro vibe. So you could do these in any colors, obviously, but I want to put them in like a rainbow from the kind of 1970s rainbowy kind of feel, or like in more olives or khakis and burnt oranges. I think that could be really, really fun together. This again, this sort of makes me want to play with glitter placement and with shards. Like the shards of the shard manis are really, really popular. Have been really, really popular. I guess they're you don't see them as much right now, but this would be a great way to kind of just place a few of those shards, and again using it kind of as a grid, so you don't have to do as much guesswork. That could be really, really fun. And then this looks more like a pattern when it comes together, almost like a little rose pattern. And I love geometrics, so I love that. And of course we've got this other butterfly here to go up with this. And look, the negative space to go along with it. So between just those elements right there, you've got 100 different manis you could make with your mixing and matching. And that's why I love UberChic Beauty so much. Negative positive space here of a simple little floral pattern, so you could alternate that very easily. I love this like little frond of newly budding flowers, gorgeous. And then your isolated one here, and a couple of your other little isolated ones to go with these. And don't forget to mix and match, right? Because just because, you know, this and this are obviously meant to go with this, why not throw a few of them in, you know, with your butterflies or in with this image here? You could have a couple of these randomly placed on top of this, and that would give it extra depth. And again, could also go with this one over here. So play around. I love anything that's like filigree, sort of Victorian wallpapery. That sounds horrible to say, like wallpaper, but I love that style. And I love that she's given you this closer up, because, you know, like that could just cover a nail, just that frond right there, especially if your nails are shorter, like mine are a little shorter right now. You could just play around with that in different angles coming up your nail. Gorgeous. Again, I love triangles. I'm super stoked about these triangles. And she does a lot of arrows on her plate, and I feel like these triangle kind of images would go really well with those. So if you like the arrow look, pull those out and look and combine that with those. 2402. We got some more of these, and again, I always kind of encourage you, look at how gorgeous these two mix and match with those two. So play around with that. And now instead of just having these images to mix and match, you've got 4 that you can play around with. And especially like, again, with that shard idea, this and that, and putting in shards in a few of those areas, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. This looks like, okay, so it kind of looks like rubber duckies to me. I know that sounds silly, but the shape is a little bit like rubber duckies. So I would definitely put this as kind of background for any kind of spring stuff. So she's also got a spring plate going on. So like, how cute would it be to have just like this over your nails, and then on your accent nail, one of these. So like, let's say you've got this in pink over white, a light pink over white, and then boom, stamp him in yellow. Gorgeous. That would be so cute and so funny. All right, so we've got all of these lovely carnations in different sizes, and keep in mind what each of these can do. So like, look, when you're putting that on your nail, this is going to have almost a shadow feel. You could use this as texture behind other things. It's not even necessarily going to look like a flower. Of course, if you mix and match it, it will, because the patterns are similar. But then you've got like this full nail image. You've got an isolated one you can play with, and then she gives you these two things in negative. So if you want to let those specialty polishes shine, or if you want to have just like this as your accent nail and let a specialty polish shine, and then have this stamped on the rest of them, it's going to be gorgeous. All right, so notice that this is a layering image, so you can take this and then you're going to stamp this over it. All right, but what I want you to do, same thing with this is just the same thing, but on the scale is larger. But what I want you to do is keep in mind that, of course, you can do it that way. And you could stamp it, like say you did this in white and then did it in black over. Then you can go in and you've got this perfect template, and then make your little circle, make your dots a different color. Or make your dots a different color here and then stamp it in with your black over it if you don't want your dotted color to obscure the black of your outline. So you can still use this as a template and get whatever kind of dot pattern of color you want, or play around with the different colors. And this is going to be the easiest way in the world. Use this as a guide, stamp the colors where you want the different bundles of colors, stamp this on top of it so your outline is clear, and you've got a manicure that looks like it took you forever, and it's going to take you no time flat. This always looks like rain to me, so I would do kind of like a stylized rain with this. These look a bit like punch cards for me. Again, mix and match, play around with specialty polishes. All right, and then here's another thing that I absolutely love in this collection. These are like peacock feathers to me, but they've got that stylized thing. You could go in here and dot them. You could go in, have gorgeous purple hollow and stamp this like in a gold. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's making me so happy. Oh, so many possibilities. I love it. I love it. Can you tell I'm excited about that image? And I love that, again, she's got, you know, all of these different sizes and different orientations for you to play around with. So cool. Good things take time, that's true. This looks to me like an African violet. I'm always guessing, I'm never quite right. And then of course we've got this isolated one that goes with this one way up here. Notice it's a little bit closer together, so you could play around with that as well and alternate stuff. And actually, I wouldn't have thought it, but since these are really close together, it's making me realize I think these images go really well with this too, because it's almost like a dot. So you can play around with that. Gorgeous rose to play around with, a solid little African violet to go along with that. And then I think almost any manicure, but especially spring manicures, can always use some random little scribbles like that. I think it adds whimsy and I love it. 2403, and I said this is my favorite, so I'm going to try not to fangirl too much over this. This makes me think of like the wrought iron balconies in New Orleans, and I just love the pattern on that. Any stamp in any kind of metallic over any color, it's going to look gorgeous. But of course you can play with, you know, I would also do color on color with this. I think it's so beautiful. And then this has this almost tapestry-ish kind of feel to it, and then you've got the isolated one here. You could stamp this over that little area if you want a pop of different color coming up. I love that, as always, she gives you, like right here, you've got that in the center. Over here it's on the side, so this other design is in the center, so you can mix and match and play around with centering that on your nails and get different looks that are gonna go well together. I could see totally like centering this one on all of your nails except your accent nail, and then switching that up and centering it on that. Super easy manicure to do, but it's gonna give you this gorgeous, rich, detailed look when you have that difference there. Any Art Deco design you guys know I love, so of course I love that, but this also makes me think of like vineyards, and again it makes me, kind of puts me in this wrought iron place, so I can't wait to get my hands on that one. And then the negative one here. Mosaic, this has this mosaic feel that you could dot in there, like a little dot of even just like hollow top coat to give a little bit of extra shimmer. And you've got the different sizes if you want to play around with that. And I like that this one has the rigid lines of the mosaic, but this, she's kind of given the whimsy and of the different pattern there. So you could have this on all of your nails and then have that on your accent nail to just give that different visual look. And it's going to give your manicure just that different hint of interest. So this is not a nautilus. It doesn't actually spiral inward, but it gives the look to me of spiraling inward, and that I love that kind of visual feel to it. And of course she's giving you the different sizes. I would go in, I actually have some specialty kind of crushed shell glitter that I'm thinking about maybe going in and putting in underneath this. So we'll see how that comes out, but I would definitely play around with different colors under this. Over a smoosh mani, this would be gorgeous. So pretty. This has a Renaissance feel to me. I adore it. Again, I would just stamp this silver or gold, any kind of metallic over any sort of color is going to look gorgeous. Super easy, quick mani, and you're going to be done. My diamond glitters again. What did I say? So here you stamp this on your nail and then just put diamonds in the center, or just put diamonds along the top. Let's say you want to make that into kind of like a French tip deal, and just a couple of diamonds over the top. And the cool thing about diamond glitters too is that they're narrow enough that, you know, they're not going to stick up too much if you do that kind of a look. This obviously is meant to be layered. I should probably mention that before I go off about my glitter. So definitely play around with that layers, and you're going to get a couple different colors that you can have there between your base polish. But you could stamp this alone, play around with a few glitters in the center there, stamp this alone. This is so pretty, and it's obviously meant to go along with this and meant to go along with this, so I would say mix and match. I personally love the idea of like this on an accent nail, and then this just kind of coming across the edges from different places on your other nails, so that this keeps being like the shining nail that pops out, but you've got a cohesion. Some more triangles and some matchy ones there too, but let's pull out this triangle. And notice that those do go well together. I love it. And if you have triangle free glitters, how much fun could you have with that as well? Oh, I love this. This is like some gorgeous like rug or a skirt I would love to have in this pattern. And I think this would go beautifully over a smoosh mani to let all of your different colors shine out. You could do gorgeous stained glass effects with some reverse stamping or with the decal. It's just stunning. I mean, you could put this over all your nails, stamp just color on color, and then on your accent nail, stamp this one boom, right on top. It's a big pop of color. And then, of course, the Art Deco fanatic in me loves this. Instead of the straight lines that you normally see, she's made this just a little bit more interesting by putting in some wavy lines, and this gives this more of a shimmery, curvy effect. So again, I cannot wait to get my hands on that. All of her full nail images are 1.7 centimeters by 2.1 centimeters, and here is a look at all of those the images in the middle to give you a feel for how big they are. They are definitely designed to fit on your nail and not have to worry about that. So you can play around with your full nail images and then have your little complementary accent images that are going to fit without a problem. So there you go. And all right, for my stamping test, I'm using Sally Hansen Insta-Dri Midnight Drive, and I am going to be using my clear stamper. Fine lines. And there we go. This, you will have to work quickly with this one. It's fine, but it definitely picks up all of those gorgeous fine lines. And there's that one. And you can see when I transfer it, it's already starting to pull up here. When you work with these fine lines, work fast. That way you won't have to worry about that. Gorgeous fern. So pretty. And there's the top layer of those adorable butterflies. And there you go. I'm just having a little bit of a challenge today, apparently, on that side. Alright, and 2402. There's that little peacocky kind of flower. And on the nail there. Love those geometrics. And there we go. Try one of the negative space ones. So pretty. Alright, and then 2404. Beautiful. Makes me so happy. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so pretty. I love that. Check that out. That sort of nautilus flower. Look at the perfect lines. And that's right. Today, I'm gonna slay. As always, excellent quality, great plates with such a variety of stuff that you can do. I will link everything down below, and thank you for watching.